Hey YouTube, Mike here. How we all doing today? Hope we all had a very safe and productive week. All right, today I found something that I bought years ago. Pretty much totally forgot about it because I don't do as I bought it when I did the slot car boxes. And when I revamped the garage, I ain't gonna use this. I put it away. As you can see here, it's the Dremel router base. They make two different types. They make the smaller base, and then they make the plunge base. And I put that edge guard, put everything in a box, put it in storage. Well, I was going around looking for some tools. I found it. I was like, oh man. I remembered I bought it when I was doing little grooves. Just doing like either for like 1/8 or 1/4 inch, not very deep, maybe an 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch deep in the wood. I didn't have to use the router table. I didn't have to pick up and set up the big router. It was very simple to use. So it's the model 335-01. This one is separate. It does not come with the and I will add the model number in the description. But I'm going to show how it goes on, but I can't remember the model number for this one. But this is what you get. You get a plunge router, you get an edge guide, you get another block. It's a smaller block, I remember, because these are removable. And since you had such a long lead here, the block is about that big, this thick. So it shortens the the guide. So you can reuse this in the other guide. But again, God knows where I put it, and I never really used it. I always used this edge guide. And you want them flush with the outside to give you the maximum depth of cut with the edge guide. So basically, there's, oh God, it's got to be probably close to a dozen routers it'll work for. And what I'm using here is the Dremel model number 3000. I also have, but I can't use it because the collet, it's the 400 XPR. It's 5,000 to 35,000 RPM. That's both of these. Then you could also use the 8220. It fits. This is the 12 volt cordless router. But corded is always better. I've never used this because this is actually new. And my Dremels sit over here on the shelf, on the Dremel shelf that I have, because I use them for cutoff, I use them for sanding, I use them for buffing, sharpening, but this thing, totally forgot about it. I forgot about it. So, basically, let me grab the piece that will come with the router, and I'm going to put, excuse me, the Dremel. So when you have a Dremel, this is what you look like, and it has this collar at the top. You have to remove the collar. Now, on some Dremels, actually, when it spins, there's a light in here. So both of them are the same, so no matter which one you have, you need to remove it. Now I have this. This is also what I've had for, oh God, 15 years, this little Dremel Lazy Susan for the bits. So in a Dremel, you have your collet nut. Now this one here has knurls on it, so it's kind of like the keyless chuck, but it's also there's flat sides on it that you can use the wrench, the smaller wrench. And this is the wrench that you get with the router base. It's the exact same wrench if you have the Dremel drill press, which I do, and I use it for my modeling inside. And this actually is the Dremel that comes off of the drill press. So both wrenches are the same. It's just that on the router there's two different nuts, and I'll give you a close-up in a second. So collet goes in, and there's many collets. You have many different collets. Here's all different collets here, different sizes. There's different collet nuts here. Here's a collet nut that's not keyless. You do need the wrench for it. Now with the keyless one, and if you're going to do like buffing or something, you basically can use your fingers and the actual arbor stop, which is that button right here that stops the arbor from spinning so that you can tighten down. Same thing like with the grinder or circular saw. It's the exact same thing. So in today, and this was actually taped to this, because I'll show you in a second. The router base has some little accessories on it. The router base, you can actually store the wrench in little compartments, but it's just going to fly out. Also, on the bottom side here, you see there's 5 little holes. You can actually push the bits into them to hold them. So they make different bits. I only have this bit, but they make an engraving bit. They make a round over bit. They also make a bit, which I'm going to buy in Home Depot next time, is they make a keyway for like pictures. So it makes that first round hole, and then it makes almost like a dovetail inside, so that you could just, you put the picture on, you slide it over, now it won't come off the wall. I saw that because I actually looked up. I didn't have the paperwork, nothing. Like I said, I had to buy it 15 years ago, and I think it would be great to have that if you're just going to do 2 little, you know, if you're going to do, say, a frame, and then you're just going to put the keyways in there. I think it'll work great. So when you put this in, you have a direction. You have one. This is the turn knob and I actually had to spray. This thing was stuck. So you have, and then you turn this, it locks it in. There is somewhat of a depth guide, and there is a depth stop that actually operates. You can actually screw it down, or you could push this button and see it drops, or you can push that button and pick it back up. And then this is for the edge guide. It's got a front and a back. It has a port here, and that port I'm going to show you on the other one first because it works better. But I always put the bit in. The way I did it is I always put the bit in and then put it into the base. You see, when you lock it down, it actually has that little hole is where you can push to lock the arbor and take off and change the bit. But I'll tell you, it's a real pain in the neck. This is the newer model, and I would demonstrate this one, but not quite yet. It's got to be cleaned. The chuck lock doesn't lock. This one here has a much smaller lock, so it's very hard to get your finger in there on that little slot. So the Dremel bit, and let me grab the key. You want to insert it about 1/4 inch and then lock down. Once you get it hand tight, then use the wrench to tighten it more. You want to use the wrench. It did vibrate out. I can tell you right now, it vibrated on the when I originally used it. And then you're going to insert this into the base. Can we see? Yeah. So of course, speed control button towards the front, and then just lock it in there. Let me show you the other base first. This base screws on like so, and then the depth, excuse me, you turn this, and it's actually spring-loaded. Well, the nut spring-loaded, not this. But see, that's how you adjust your depth here. And then there's a large port and a smaller port. And this viewing. It's also to knock out the sawdust. But if you're doing engraving, just say I was doing engraving, I would be looking through that port because it's 3 times the size of that port. And again, it attaches just by screwing on to where you remove the nut. All right, so again, we have it hole facing us. speed control and lock goes in, and you got to be a little patient. They're large plastic threads. Now, once you get it locked down and you got your piece, oh, here I put the wrench. I'm going to show you something. On this one, there's two different. You see, the wrench will not fit on this right here. Will not fit here. See, it fits on the lower one, right there, and then that will lock this down. So on certain models, it's only one. Like on my drill press, on the drill press, there's only one set of flat sides. This one happens to have two sets. I don't know why, but that's what I found. So now I have this. Now, say I wanted to do a groove. Oh, here, I picked this up. The Saddle T4 by Woodpecker. It's the line marking. So, say I wanted to go 1.5 inches down this board. Okay. So now, with this, now this is a 1/4 inch bit. You're gonna have to do 2 passes. Not just like with any other router. You're most likely gonna do 2 passes. So, you're just gonna remember that the side that has the marking, the opposite side is what locks. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I first started using this, I'm like, what the hell? Oh, it's this one. And I'm jumping back and forth, so I just kind of oriented myself. Anyway, you can mark it, put a piece of tape around it, red tape, blue tape. But I just kind of looked. The sticker that shows rotation, it's the opposite side. That's how I remember it. So now, I want to find out where I want to be. I want to make a cut right there. I lock this down. And then you come over to your depth stop. Lock it there. Then you want to lock down both. There's 2 nuts right here. So now it won't go up, it won't go down, and now I'm there. And now I'm going to release it. I'm going to take my edge guide now, and it goes through first set of holes, and it's a clear base. It's sometimes a little hard unless you bring it right up to you to get these silver things through. Okay, now they're in, as you can see. See how they're in? And I lost it again. It's about right where I want it. Just lock these down, get them good and stuck. All right, we got it. Now we plug our router in, or our Dremel. Plunge, lock it. There you go. Now that's just one pass. It's probably down 1/8 of an inch. That's a piece of 1/4 inch plywood. Now I'm going to make one more pass. Again, unplug the router. Loosen up your 2, and then I will adjust it with my fingers to go a little bit more. Right there. Lock that in. Then go down on it. Get it all set before you plug it in. Hold on. There we go. See that your depth stop is touching. Make sure your router's off. Or your Dremel. I keep calling it a router. That's because we're so used to routing. There you go. So now you got a nice dado for your 1/4 inch, back or whatever. But I definitely want to buy the keyway bit, and I'll probably buy the rounding over bit. They do make this is a $29.99. Home Depot and Lowe's sells them. Not every Home Depot's got them, and I could bet the farm that I bought it at Home Depot. And they do make a 5-piece router bit set. I think it's like $11.95, which comes with a similar bit. But yeah, let's do one more pass. We'll do the full. Let me see. I'll just show you if. We'll make another groove. We'll make one right there at the full depth, because I actually never used this router, and this one has the brushless motor, so I don't know if it's a little bit more powerful. I know that this router, this one here, the 400 XPR, this one I've had for a while, so I can't tell you. I mean, that would never make it in all of one shot. So yeah, let's give it a shot and see if it bogs down. I'll just stop it. You gotta go slow, and remember, it's the bit. These aren't very expensive bits for the Dremel, so it's the whole thing is the sharpness of the bit. Well, that fooled me. That one, the other one, would have not have done that. It's the same depth as the first one, but that one definitely did not do it. Very little play in it. It's just made for that. There's the grooves. I was playing with it. I mean, look how deep I made one of the grooves. But that was 2 passes. But that was with this. That was with this one. This one I just pulled out from my drill press, because this I couldn't remove the bits. Like the bit, it just wouldn't lock. There's sawdust in it. There's everything in it. I use it for everything. So I was like, I got the Dremel inside, because I didn't want to use the cordless one will fit here. Let's I'll show you. I mean, if you're going to do some minor like engraving, you could definitely use the cordless one, especially the 12-volt, the lithium-ion battery, brushless motor, yada yada yada. Oh, let me show you this too, because you're going to find this, especially with the router bits. I remember what a pain in the neck it was to remove the actual bit after you took it or you loosened the collet. So push your button in and then remove. Oh, no, that one lied to me. That one used to have to, it would still be, well here, I'll just show you. again, like I said, I never use this one for, this is my go-to one with the cord, and this one is the cordless one. I just got something minor. So if this was locked in, like you cannot pull out the bit, what you do is you come over to this side, you push down, and it'll pop out the collet more. And then you could remove it, then it releases from the collet. That's what I used to do. I just push it down on either a scrap piece of wood on the table, with what I would be, maybe not what I was doing, because you'll mark it or put a dent in it, and then it would pop itself out. So, but this one, again, made a liar of me. And I do clean these out, and I do use a couple of different bits, so I do constantly change the collets in there. So, oh, this is what I was going to show you. Again, this here, it has a removable front, the nose cone, and they're identical. They're all identical. And so you could use it with the cordless one. And let's sing. Who wants to sing? I do. Let's see if this will cut. We won't do it. Lefty. More comfortable. And oh yes, no, I did put the bit in there. That's so good. Alright, let's get this in. Because this would be, whoa. I don't even have to have a cord. Right, where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? Let's try. I don't have enough juice over there. Go this way. I'll do that. See how much juice we got in this, Bubba. I'm going to lower down. We'll bring this thing back up. Try that. Down, lock it, and get it all the way on to 30. I put the bit in a little bit too low. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Now, you do like 3 passes. Yeah, no, a little bit too much. I mean, it's still, oh, here it is. It still did it, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's just, they have their limitations. So your corded ones are going to be the best. All right. I will definitely be using this a lot more now, since I relocated it. Let's see if this thing locked it in. Yeah, see? I cannot pull it out. So just do that and boom, it comes right out. You don't have to hammer it, you don't have to do anything. Just a little bit of pressure. Put your little thing back together. And that's it. All right. 335-01, 30 bucks. Your edge guide, your plunge base, your little block, your 2 guides, your wrench, and of course an instruction manual, which is another one that God knows where that is. All right, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thank you all for the subscribes. I'm just over 9,000, so I think it's got about 900 and something to go, and we will be giving away, not this one, but this is our giveaway, brand new in a box, MTR 18 triangle. It's your triangle on steroids. So that's what we're giving away for 10,000 views. Okay, email be below. You want to ask a question? Just keep them coming, man. I love the questions. Keep them coming. And if you like a Mike's Woodshop sticker, just email me your mailing address, and we'll mail one out to you wherever you are. Alrighty? I hope you all be safe. Next week will be a stock video because we're going away for our niece's wedding to New York. So it'll just be a video that I keep for backup. Oh, and check out my my Instagram, which will be in the description below. But it's my name, Michael Latronico, all one word. Not going to tell you, but it's something that I started 2 years ago, sorry. I couldn't do it last year because I had the knee surgery, but this year I did it again, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just check out my Instagram channel, and I think you'll get a big laugh out of it. All right? Okay. I hope you all is safe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.